One question to ask yourself for success and satisfaction. A beautiful story of wisdom by a sage. There was a famous sculptor who produced some of the greatest works of sculptures. He was revered and was sought by even the king and his ministers. Even after attaining such fame and wealth, the sculptor was not happy. Due to his affinity with king and powerful people, he thought whatever he sculpted, people accepted it as a great piece of artwork. Therefore, he started doubting his own work. He thought nobody is giving genuine opinions about his works. He could not find satisfaction and contentment from his work anymore. He stopped working and became a wandering recluse. He started traveling far and away looking for answers. During one of his travels, he saw a sage meditating under a tree. He went and sat near him in silence, waiting for the sage to come out of meditation. After a long time, the sage opened his eyes and saw the sculptor. The sculptor, with a troubled look on his face, greeted the sage. "O great sage, salutations." The sage asked, "Who are you? What troubles you?" The sculptor replied, "I'm a renowned sculptor with great pieces of sculptures to my name. Even the king and his ministers love my work, and always keep commissioning new sculptures." The sage said, "Very few people can achieve what you have achieved. But still you are troubled, what is it?" The sculptor replied, "Though I have fame and money, I do not have satisfaction and contentment. I think people fear me due to my proximity to king and the ministers. Nobody dares to genuinely criticize or provide opinions about my sculptures. Everybody just praises them, whether they like them or not. Due to this, I am unable to derive any happiness and satisfaction from my work. And I cannot go on anymore." He continued, "O enlightened sage, please help me find an answer, find happiness and satisfaction again." The sage smiled and said, "Can you create a simple sculpture for me? Stay with me for a few days and create it." The sculptor, though confused, said yes. He stayed with the sage and started working on a sculpture. In a few days a beautiful sculpture was ready, and the sculptor proudly presented it to the sage. The sage said, "It is beautiful, let us see what people think about it. Here nobody knows who you are. Tomorrow, place this sculpture in the market with a note and a board. In the note, ask people to identify any mistakes in the sculpture and write them on the board. Let us wait till end of the day and see what people have to say." The sculptor did what the sage said and sat in a corner to see what happens. In no time, the board was full. People started writing all the mistakes they could find. The sculptor became angry and sad at the same time. He told the sage, "See, now people are pointing out mistakes in my beautiful masterpiece. How can there be so many mistakes? What do they know about making beautiful sculptures? Even the king and ministers appreciate my work. Who are these people?" The sculptor then realized that it was his ego speaking, and got really confused as to what he was really seeking. He realized that if people don't comment on his work, he doesn't get satisfaction. Whereas if people criticize, he gets angry and disappointed. Seeing this, the sage said, "Tomorrow, remove the old board and place a new empty board. Place a note beside it saying, 'Point out a mistake in the sculpture. But only if you can correct it. Use the tools. Place the hammer and a chisel next to the board, for people to use.'" Sculptor played along. He placed the board with the new note and the tools next to the sculpture, just like the sage said. People came, read the note, and saw the tools. They simply walked away without writing anything on the board. By the evening, there was not a single mistake identified and written on the board. The sculptor then asked the sage, "Oh great sage, what does it mean?" The sage said, "Isn't it obvious? People point out mistakes very easily. If they don't have to do anything about them, if they are not responsible to rectify them. In fact, people love pointing out others' mistakes." The sage continued, "The moment they are asked to take responsibility and correct the mistakes, they all run away. You saw it with your own eyes." Now, do you want to derive satisfaction and contentment based on such opinions? Do you want to seek validation from others? If you know that you have genuinely given your best to achieve whatever you have set out to achieve, you'll derive satisfaction and contentment, inevitably. You don't have to rely on others' opinions and seek validation for your hard work. Do not overburden your mind with the thought of what others think. Ask yourself, is this the best I can do, or can I do it even better? That is all there is to it. Hope you got your answers, and can practice it when you go back and unburden your mind. The sculptor realized how stupid he was, and how he brought this dejection and dissatisfaction upon himself. He thanked the sage for this valuable lesson. The sculptor returned home a happy man. He knew what he must ask himself after creating every masterpiece. Have I given my best, or can I do it even better? If the answer is a resounding yes, then satisfaction and contentment are inevitable. The sculptor also learned not to pay heed to others' opinions, good or bad, because inside he knew he was satisfied and content. Thank you for watching. I'll return with another inspirational story.